Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at table relationships. A relationship is a connection between two tables that establishes how the data in those tables should be correlated. Usually, when you import data from a relational database source, the existing relationships are automatically imported together with the data. Inside the Tabular Model Explorer, if we expand the relationships folder, we can see that there are some relationships that were imported when the tables were imported. So these relationships already existed at the data source level. To view the existing relationships diagram, right-click on the name of your model inside the Model Explorer, and then there is an option for Diagram View. Click on that. The lines between the tables indicate the relationships that were automatically created when you imported the data. So you can scroll through to see all the tables and all the relationships. Note that if you do not see any relationship lines between the table, it is likely that the relationships were not properly established between those tables at the data source. You can use the minimap control here on the lower right hand corner of the model designer to fit as many tables as you want. For example, if I click on it, I can put all the table I want. You can use the slider here just to control how many tables are currently showing in the designer. So this is flexible, so feel free to play around. You can also view the columns in a table just by expand the table and you will see all the columns within that table. Click on the solid line between the dim customer table and the dim geography table. So by clicking on the solid line, it shows you the relationship between the tables. You can see that both tables are related because they've got a common column. The dim geography has a geography key and the dim customer has a geography key. Their relationship is formed because both tables have identical columns. The solid line between the two tables shows the relationship between the table is active. It is also used by default when calculating DAX formulas. The relationship properties for these two tables I've selected also appears in the property window. You can also use the Manage Relationship dialog box to show the relationships between all the tables in a table format. To do that, you click on the extensions menu here and then go to Table and click Manage Relationship, and this will show you the relationships between the tables. So you can create new relationships, we can edit existing relationship, you can also delete relationships. The Manage Relationship shows you the active relationship, shows you how the relationships are formed between the tables. If tables from the same data source connection are imported at separate times, any relationships between those tables are not created and must be created manually. Also, if no relationships appear, it means there are no relationships at the data source. In the diagram view, notice an arrow, an asterisk, and a number on the lines that show the relationship between the tables. The arrow shows the filter direction. The asterisk shows that this table is the many side in the relationship's cardinality, and the 1 shows that this table is the one side of the relationship. If you need to edit a relationship, for example, if you want to change the relationship's filter direction or cardinality, you can double click on the relationship line and that will open up the dialog box that you can use to edit the relationship. In some cases, you may need to create additional relationships between tables in your model to support certain types of business logic. In this course, we are going to create 3 additional relationships between the fact internet sales table and the dim date table. Inside the model designer, in the fact internet sales table, click on the order date. Click and hold on to the order date column and drag it to the date column in the dim date table and let go, and that will establish a relationship between the date column of the dim date table and the order date of the fact internet sales table. Next, inside the fact internet sales table, click on the due date column, hold on to it with your mouse and then drag it with your cursor and then drag it into the date column of the dim date table. So we can see that establishes a relationship. A dotted line shows that you have created an inactive relationship. You can have multiple relationships between tables, but only one relationship can be active at a time. I'm going to create one more relationship. So in the fact internet sales table, I'm going to click on the ship date column. I'm going to hold down my mouse key and then drag that into the date column of the dim date and release it, and that will create another relationship. In this video, we viewed existing table relationship and also created new relationships.